Alright, welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. This one is juicy. This one, you have to stay tuned to this one. They say sometimes that fiction, life is much stranger than fiction. Hear this. So, this one brings us to the beautiful city of San Antonio, Texas, and we are going to be talking about, just giving an update about this couple. I don't know if you remember Andreen and Andre McDonald. So Andreen was the wildly successful 29-year-old who owned a assisted living facility, which is a medical facility that takes care of elderly people. And her husband Andre was, of course, the high-ranking major of the United States Air Force. She had gone missing. This story, though, includes a family member, which is her cousin, who has assumed all roles. And when I say all roles, I mean all roles. The cousin's name is Sharon Hilton. Let me first say that I extend my phone number and my email address for Sharon to get in touch with us and tell us if what we are hearing is true. But to my audience, I can tell you that we have gotten this information from very, very credible sources, and we await to hear from Sharon if she so chooses to contact us, or from Andre if he so chooses to contact us. Now, at the moment, Andreen has not been found. To my Jamaican audience, she is Jamaican and so is her husband. You know, we get an opportunity to move away from Jamaica and go overseas and expand ourselves, expand our horizons, spread our wings and fly, and she did just that. If you can imagine starting a medical facility as a fresh graduate at 22 years old and being wildly successful at it by the time you're 29, and then your high-ranking military husband. So, let's start out with this. Andreen's friend, her friend's name is Jade, and Jade had put this on her Facebook page. She was also the manager of Andreen's business, which is Starlight Homes, and what she put on Andreen's page was this: I've stayed quiet for the most part. When I see things being said on this page in regards to my good friend Andreen or her amazing dad, BFF Paul, because her dad always tells me to ignore it, but now I'm angry. I read numerous conversations all over FB in which Andreen's estranged cousin would bash people that were trying to help the family to find Andreen. And I even saw people sticking up for that cousin. But I want you all to know who that woman really is. She is the cousin who Andreen disliked so much that she blocked her from her social media. She is the woman who conveniently showed up to take over Andreen's business after she disappeared. And she is the woman who just moved into Andreen's husband's home to keep him warm at night. Secrets bust out. So, what I have to say now is karma is a B. Between karma and the detectives on this case, you guilty people will get what's coming to you. Alright. Now, let me drag the memory of those of you who might not understand what's going on here. So, out in San Antonio, Texas, we had Andreen McDonald, married to Andre McDonald. And I told you before, Andreen was the successful businesswoman. At 29 years old, she went missing, and it was suspected that her Air Force major husband, seen here, Andre, was the culprit, the main suspect. Andre was arrested and charged with tampering with evidence, right? Or obstruction, rather. Bail set at $2 million, and that bail was reduced to $300,000, which, of course, he had the resources to pay because Andreen left a business behind and a home behind that's well worth buku bucks. Alright, so his attorney wanted his bail to actually be reduced to $50,000 to $75,000, but the judge said no. $300,000 was where it's at, and yes, he had the resources to do so. So he was out of jail in no time. He did a couple of weeks in. They were holding him as long as they could because they had found so much evidence leading to him. Now, stick with the story because you're wondering where the cousin comes in, and I'm going to show it to you right here. So, April 24th, the court appearance went silently. He was supposed to go back to court, stand before the judge, and we were supposed to hear more. We heard nothing. We are now in June, and today is June 4th of 2019, right? He was found with a 2.5 gallon barrel of gasoline, two 2.5 gallon barrels of gasoline, which he purchased, a hatchet, heavy duty trash bags, gloves, shovels, and added evidence was also found on cell phones, according to investigating officers. He lied about his wife's whereabouts. When asked, he said, "Oh, we had a fight last night and she packed up and left." But before that, he told them that she had went to the hospital because she had cut her hand on something, and they checked the hospital and she was not there. Andreen told a friend that if I ever go missing, just know that Andre did it. They also discovered 2 burn pits where things had been burnt in them. Recently, around the same time, it was reported that she had gone missing. There was also blood that was found in the couple's home, blood on the light switch in the main bathroom, and more blood, upon further investigation, in the cracks of the bathroom tile. Those blood samples have been sent off to the lab, and they are awaiting the results to see if those blood samples are indeed that of Andreen. They're trying to establish what really took place in that home, right? At the moment, they cannot hold him because the state is not ready to prosecute him yet, because they're saying that they have to prove certain things, and without a body, they have not been able to prove exactly what they would be going for. So let's fast forward and get to the meat of this story while we're doing this story today. So the husband was released from lockup under conditions that he would wear a GPS tracking device, and let's not forget, there is no statute of limitation for murder. So this could take weeks, months, even years, but when it comes down, it will come down. So of course, the show must go on. So after Andreen had disappeared, right? Here's what happened. Her business, the assisted living facility business, they were worried, like who was going to do the payroll, who was going to pay the bills, who was going to keep the business running, right? Her husband had been in lockup and her business was just out there frailing in the wind. Starlight Homes, which she started as a fresh grad at 22 years old, was in jeopardy of being lost. Guess what? After her husband was released, he went to managing that business along with this lady right here, her cousin, Sharon Hilton. This is her blood cousin. And they say that Sharon has taken over all roles. So she does payroll for the business. She has assumed every position that Andreen has had. So she assumed payroll, doing payroll, paying the bills for the business, managing her home, managing her bed, her bedroom, her husband even. Her own cousin is now living in her house, running her business with her husband, and sleeping with her husband. Here you know, people, when the story came to us, they said that her mom is very upset. Andreen's mom is very upset because Andreen's mom was who actually got the cousin, Sharon, to come by and help out. She didn't know that it would get that bad and go that far. Alright? So, record from the Secretary of State shows that she Andreen had actually added Andre to the as a manager in 2013 to the Starlight Homes business. But last year tax records have shown that the only listed manager was Andreen. So she probably had removed Andre as manager from the paperwork or did not file with him as manager for that particular tax year. Let's not forget, Andre had been married before and divorced before, and it was also said that he actually divorced his woman in Florida to move to Texas and marry and be with Andreen. So, that's that whole, oh damn, she dodged a bullet kind of thing. But back to this. The cousin living in the home, running Andreen's business. Now, mind you, this woman has not been confirmed dead. I mean, we suspect the worst at this point. No one goes missing for that long unless they were running for their life and have gone into hiding. But she has been missing, and big search parties have been put out, and she has not been found. Okay? And what a thing to just have your wife disappear, replaced with her blood cousin, and carry on as if business as usual, running her business which she started, which she put work into day in, day out. They said that Andreen would start her business days at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning, and she would work hours and hours going to countless meetings and doing all the stuff that she had to do to keep her business or get her business to the level where it was at. And she was featured in many business papers in Texas, and she was known as somebody that was a go-getter, somebody that was A-list type personality, somebody that was very driven, and people respected her a lot. When you live this kind of lifestyle, there are people, even your own family members, that are envious of this and want that lifestyle. But people are saying, or our source, which we will not reveal yet, okay, we want to see what comes out of this first before we reveal our source. But it's eerie to see that a family member has stepped in and taken over. And you have family member rivalries and stuff like that, but imagine your female cousin stepping in when there has been no funeral for Andreen, there has been no official, okay, she is dead, she's no longer here, and you have already taken up position in her home, running her business in her bed with her husband. I wonder if, hypothetically speaking, Andreen was to pop up today, voila, here I am. Do you think that her cousin would say, hey, I was just helping out till you got back, cuz? Or do you think that Andre has shared the secret with this cousin and she is happy where she's at now? Leave your comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this whole mess. It's SouFLoTV, man. I'm out. Peace.